tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to make this BB-8 droid crochet hat inspired by Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So for this hat, you're going to need the white yarn, gray, orange, and black. You can pick any variety of colors. This specific orange is called Carrot. The pumpkin's a little bit more of a brighter orange, so if you want to go for that look, you can do that. The materials that you'll need, you're going to need a crochet hook, G or 6, 4.25, scissors, measuring tape, and a tapestry needle. So this is an adult size and this is a child size. The main difference that you'll see is this one is wider, so it's going to fit a little bit better, and it's also a little bit taller as well. And this one is not quite as wide. The main place where this pattern's different, and I'll show you the parts during the tutorial, you're going to add an extra row of white here, and then here at the beginning, this hat, you do 11 double crochets in your magic circle. For a child size, for a small child, you're going to do 9 double crochets, and for a larger child, you're going to do 10 double crochets. So we're going to start with a magic circle. So you're going to take the yarn and you're going to lay it in your opposite hand. Okay, in your palm. Pinch it with your thumb, wrap it around your fingers till you create like a little X there underneath that thumb. Turn your hand, put your hook under, grab the yarn, pinch it, and now we're ready to start our magic circle. So hold it like this. You're going to chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. Now what we're going to do is 11 double crochets into this ring. Okay, we're going over both of these strands. So to do a double crochet, you wrap the yarn around, go into the circle, grab the yarn. Now you have 3 on your hook. You're going to wrap the yarn around, pull through 2, and then wrap the yarn again and pull through 2. That's 1 double crochet. And we're going to do that again 10 more times. So wrap it around into the circle, pull through, wrap and pull through 2, pull through 2. Okay, there's 2 double crochets. We're going to keep going until we've done 11 double crochets. That's not including our chain. Okay. So I'm just going to keep going around. So I've done chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If you're not going too fast and staying up with me, that's okay. Just pause and meet up with me towards the end. 10 and 11. Now I'm just going to double check that I did all of them. Got our chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to pull this loop a little bit tighter. Not all the way, okay, until we're right here. So now what you're going to do is you're going to slip stitch into the 3rd chain. Okay, so on this little chain here, 1, 2, 3, we're going to slip stitch into that chain. So we go through that little stitch there, wrap the yarn and pull through and pull through. That's a slip stitch. So now you're going to pull this a little bit tighter just to close up that hole, and that's our magic circle. So we finished round 1, now we're going to start round 2. For round 2, you're going to do 2 double crochets into every stitch. So first we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, and 3. Now we're going to go into this first stitch right here. Okay, we're not going into the same chain, we're just going to the next stitch. We're doing 2 double crochets into every stitch. So there's 1 double crochet into that first stitch, and now 2 double crochets. So now we're going to just keep going around doing 2 double crochets into every stitch. 1 and 2. Next stitch, 1 and 2. And you're just going to keep going all the way around, and I'll meet you back here. So now I'm going to slip stitch into that first chain, or that third chain. And that's the end of round 2. So now it's time to begin round 3. I'm going to chain 3. So now in this round we're going to do 2 double crochets and then 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet. So we're just going to alternate 2, 1, 2, 1 in each stitch. So I'm going to go into this first stitch. One and 2. Okay, this next stitch right here, we're going to do 1 double crochet. Okay, so 2, 1. Now the next stitch we're going to do 2 double crochet. 1, 2. Okay, so we're just alternating 2, 1, 2, 1 all the way around, and I'll meet you back here. So I made it around round 3. We're going to slip stitch 1, 2, 3 to that third chain. Whoop, there we go. And that's the end of round 3. So take a look at this hat here. Okay, it's 3 rows, and then we change to gray. To switch colors, you're going to just tie. First I'll just break off that yarn. Nah, I'll use scissors. There we go. And, oh darn it. Normally I don't do that, I wait until I have chained. Oh, but we're good. Okay, so we're going to tie a knot with the gray yarn. Okay, so you've tied a little knot onto the white yarn there. And now what you're going to do is you're going to wrap that gray around, pull it through, so it looks like that. And now you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then now what I like to do is I pull this white yarn and it just kind of disappears in there. It's really nice and smooth. So for this next row, we're going to do more increase. We're going to do 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 2 double crochet. We're going to do that just alternating all the way around, repeating that pattern. So wrap it around, go to the first stitch. Oh, and actually we're going to hide our, we're going to hide our thread while we're going along. So we're going to just kind of go over this as well as we're going along and then snip it off. That's just going to save us a lot of time at the end by working it in while we're crocheting. So we're going to see, we're just going to crochet over those 2 little pieces. Alright, so there's 1 double crochet and 2 double crochet in that first stitch. Next stitch we're just doing 1 double crochet. Okay, and again 1 double crochet. All right, and then now 2 double crochet. 1 and 2. So we're doing that pattern 2 1 1 2 1 1 2. Okay, so we're on 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet. All right, so now's a good time. You just come here, you're just going to snip off whatever's remaining of those 2 little pieces, and they're just going to be nice and tucked away in there. All right, so I'm going to just keep doing this pattern 2 1 1 2 all the way around, and I'll meet you here. So I made it all the way around on round 4. I'm going to slip stitch that 3rd chain. Okay, so now we're going to chain 3 again, 2 3, and now we're going to start round 5. So round 5 we're going to do 2 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet, 1 double crochet. So 2 double crochet, 3 1 double crochets, and repeat that pattern all the way around. So the first stitch I'm going to do 2. The next 3 we're just doing 1 double crochet. 1, next stitch 2, and the next stitch 3. So 2 1 2 3 1 double crochet. Repeat that pattern, and I will meet you back here. Okay, so I've made it all the way around. So we're going to slip stitch, 3rd chain. All right, now we are ready to start round 6. So we're going to change colors back to white. So we're going to tie a knot here. Slide it down. Okay, so we're going to pull that white through. Chain 3, 1 2 and 3. Pull that gray yarn. All right, so now let's snip the gray so that it's about the same length as the white. And again, we're going to just work that in as we go along. So wrap that around your hook, go into the first stitch. And on this round, let's see, we are now on round 7, I believe. 1 2 3 4 5, oh, just 6. I was getting ahead of myself. So this round, this is our last round of the increase. So we're going to do 2 double crochets in the first stitch, and then in the next 4 stitches we're doing 1 double crochet. So the first stitch, 1 2, and in the next 4 stitches 1 double crochet. Remember, we're working over that yarn. 1 2 3 and 4, and then repeating that pattern. 2 1 and 2, and then 4 1 double crochet in the next stitches. We're going to snip that off, and we're going to continue going around, repeating that pattern. I'll meet you back at the beginning. So now we're just wrapping up round 6. Going to slip stitch, and now it's time to start round 7. So we're going to change colors to orange. All right, so we tied that knot, pull it through, chain 3, 1 2 and 3. And then we're going to pull that white. All right, and there it is. Now we're going to snip that white and orange to be closer to the same sides. Okay, so now from now on we're done with increases, so we're just doing 1 double crochet into each stitch. So for this row we're just doing 1 double crochet in each stitch all the way around, and then we're going to switch colors on the next row back to white. So we're on round 7, we're doing 1 double crochet into each stitch. So we're just going around through and just 1 double crochet in every stitch. So I will meet you back here. We'll change colors again back to white on this next round. Okay, we made it around on round 7. I'm going to slip stitch to that 3rd chain. Alright, and now we're going to change color back to white. You can see on this hat how we so the 3 rows of white, 2 white, orange, and then now we're going to change color back to white. We're going to do 5 rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows of white. If you're doing an adult size hat, you're going to be doing 6 rows of white. So I'll explain that in another video though. Okay, so we're going to change colors to white. Slide it down. Wrap it around. Chain 3, 1, 2, and 3. And now just 1 double crochet. Well, actually, sorry, first we need to pull that orange. There we go. Bring these 2 over together. Snip. All right, and now working over these 2 strands. Wrap it around into that first stitch, and we're just doing 1 double crochet into every stitch. And you're going to now repeat this for the next 5 rows. So we're doing 1 double crochet into each of these stitches. We're in round 8 right now, so we're doing round 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So we're doing 5 rows of 1 double crochet into every stitch. So I'm just going to keep going around, and I'm going to meet you now after you've done those 5 rows of 1 double crochet in each stitch. Alright, so I finished doing my 5 rows if you're doing a child size, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 rows if you're doing a teen or an adult size. So this one's teen, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so whether you just did 5 or 6, now it's time for us to change to the orange. Okay, so we're going to be doing orange, and we're going to be changing colors partway through, and I'll show you how to do all of this. So we're going to change colors to the orange. Slide that down. And chain 3, 1, 2, 3. Pull on that white, and we'll snip all of that. Keep that white nice and close by because we're going to be switching colors here pretty shortly. Alright, so we're going to do 1 double crochet in the next 18 stitches. So 1, 2, whoops, and I'm just going to keep going around until I get to 18 stitches, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I did 18 1 double crochet, and now we are going to change colors so that we can get these little stripes in here. So we're going to take the white and you're going to tie a little knot on here. Slide it down just like we have been doing. Now we're not going to be cutting these off, okay? So you're going to pull the white through. There we go. Pull the white through. Pull that orange nice and tight. Okay. And so now we're going to do 1 double crochet with the white. Go down. 1 double crochet. Okay. And we cut these strands back here. We're not crocheting them in like we were doing before. Okay, we're keeping that up here. So now what you're going to do is switch back to the orange. So we're going to pull that through, pull that white down. Okay, so now we're going to do 1 stitch with the orange. So wrap it around, 1 double crochet. Okay, and then now we're going to switch back to this white. What's back here? So wrap that right through, pull the orange. Okay, wrap it around, another stitch of white. 1 double crochet. Okay, and now we're going to switch back to the orange. So bring this orange up, wrap it around, pull through, pull that white down. You can see it like that. Okay, and so now we're on orange. Go down. Okay, last time switching back to white. That through, wrap it around. Okay. And then back to orange. Okay, so I'm switching back to the orange strand. Wrap it around and pull through. Pull that white down. Wrap it around, go into the next stitch. Okay, so now we're going to do 4 stitches with the orange. And this time we're just going to be keeping this white. We're just going to kind of hold onto the white, and we're going to be tying that back in. So we're going to go to the white here. So 4 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and 4. That white's just here behind. We're just going to kind of stretch it over and now switch over to the white. Now when you're doing this, make sure that you leave it loose enough so that this can actually span that distance. Okay. So pull that through. Pull that orange down. Okay, so now we're going to be doing, is it 11? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 stitches of white. So down we go. 1. And if you want to do more, you know, you're welcome to. You know, be creative and do what you'd like to do. 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Okay, so I did 11. So now we're going to change colors. I'm going to tie a knot here. And now what we're doing is we're just doing a mirror image of what we did on the other side. Okay, so now we're going to wrap that orange around, pull it through, pull that white, wrap that orange around, go into this first stitch. We're going to do 4 crochets with the orange. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, now we're going to change colors to white. So remember, when you pull this over, make sure you're not tightening it like that, otherwise you're going to end up with your work kind of being doubled over on itself. So you just want to kind of lay it loosely. Make sure it's spanning that whole distance. Pull it through. Kind of pinch that with your finger as you pull the orange down. Okay, so now we're switching to white, and we're just going to repeat this pattern that we did over here. Again, you're welcome to look at the BB-8 hat and change up the pattern if you'd like, but this is just what I'm going to do for this hat. So wrap it around, go into that first stitch. 1. Okay, so now, I'm going to pinch that. Now we're going to switch back to orange. So bring that through, pull the white. Okay, now we're doing orange. So we're going to wrap that around, 1 double crochet in the next stitch. Okay, and then now we're going to switch again to white. So bring the white around, pull the orange down, stitch of white. Put that down, pick up the orange. Pull that through, and then pull that to tighten it down. Wrap that around, go into the next stitch. Okay, and 1 more white. Wrap the white around, pull orange down, wrap this around, go into that first stitch. And if you need to, pause, go back for a minute, if some of this just isn't quite making sense, please do that. And ask me any questions if you need any clarification for anything in the comments below. Okay, so we did our 3 white. So now we're going to switch back to orange. Tighten that white down. Okay, we'll be coming back around to get that worked in on the next round. Okay, so wrap that around, go into that stitch. Okay, so now we're just going to do orange back to here. Okay, so go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end. Okay, so I made it back here and I slip stitched into that stitch, and now it's time to start the next round. So the white, we're going to go ahead and snip that off, and we're going to go ahead and just move on with our next round. So this round we're just repeating the same pattern that we did last time, but I'm going to go ahead and just still demonstrate it, because I know that for people who maybe are changing color for the first time ever, this may be a little bit hard to do on your own. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you again for this round. But if you've got the hang of it, just repeat what we just did. So chain 3, and I'm going to do those 18 stitches. Okay, so I will meet you here when we change color to white. So I made it back here. We're going to change color to white. Tie the knot, pull it down. There's lots of different ways to change color, but this is just my own preferred method. So, okay, so we're going to wrap the white around, pull it through, pull that little orange part tight. Okay, so now we're going to go into this stitch down here. Now as we're doing this, we're going to work this white in to our work. This is from the last row. Alright, so we're going to wrap it around and we're going to go into this first stitch. Now it's a little bit, there's a little bit of a knot here on top from us changing colors and all that. Oh, sorry, there we go. Hopefully you can see that now. So where you go in isn't quite as obvious, but you can see, just kind of go right in there and push through. Okay, so we're just going to do one stitch of white. Oh, and I forgot to work that in. Here we go. So we want to make sure that we're working in that yarn. Okay, and we're trying to work it in just on the back side so it's not peeking through the front. Alright, so there we go. That one stitch. Now we're going to change colors back to orange. Go around, pull through, tighten the white. Okay, remember we're still working this white in on the back side. Wrap the orange around, go through that stitch, and we'll see that that little white strip is also back there. Strip of yarn. Oops. And that's from the last round, not this white that we're currently working into the piece. It's from the last round. Okay, finish that. Okay, so I'm going to switch colors back to white. Pull that tight. Okay. And still working the white from the last round in. Change colors to orange. Pull that tight. Wrap it around, go into that next stitch. And now we can actually snip off that white from the back. And that'll be nicely just worked into the work now. Okay, change colors back to white. Pull that down, wrap it around. Go into that stitch. And then switch colors back to orange. Pull that down, wrap the orange around. We're going to do 4 stitches with the orange. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now switching back to white again. White, we're going to kind of tighten that stitch back there. Pull it across, make sure that it's not bunched up. Pinch that there, wrap the white around, pinch it again and pull the orange down. Now we're going to do 11 of the white. And go ahead and leave that orange there. We will, we're going to snip that off, actually. The orange tends to peek through that white, so that's why we're not going to just span that distance. And then we'll just work this in later. Okay, so keep going. Working over to the end of this bit of white. Let's see, there we go. Okay, so we cut off that orange. Now's a good time to, sometimes as we're rotating all the colors, they kind of get woven together, so kind of tangled up. So now's a good time to separate them again. All right, we're going to add the white, or the orange. Switch colors. And now we're just, again, just repeating that same pattern, but I'll go through it just for those of you who want the step-by-step. If you feel like you've got the hang of it, you know, just keep going, pick up with me at the next round. All right, so we're gonna pull through that orange, tug on that white, okay, leave that white just kind of dangling there, wrap around the orange, go into that stitch. Now we can also now work, and I actually forgot to do that over here, so you can see the difference. Over here, I did not work the white in. That's not necessarily a problem. I mean, people aren't necessarily going to see the inside of the hat, but if you'd like, you can actually work it in over here. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and you can decide what you'd like to do. So, okay, so we're just going to work, we're going to have that white worked right into it. 3 and 4. Okay, so you can see the difference here. That's it worked in on the back side. That's it not worked in on the back side. So that's the difference there. Okay, so now we're going to switch back to the white. You're going to pinch it there, make sure it's spanning that whole distance. It's not clumped up. Pull it through, pinch. Okay, wrap the white around, and we're going to go into that first stitch. So remember here, the stitches, they feel a little bit different, but it's still the same thing. They're just a little bit more chunky. Pull that orange back there. Okay. Oops. I got carried away. There we go. We're going to switch to orange. Pull the white tight. Wrap it around, go into the orange. Switch to white. Wrap it around, pull the orange down. Go into the white. Change colors to orange. Wrap it around. Pull down the white. Go in with the orange. Pick up the white. Pull the orange. Wrap it around. Go into that stitch. Okay, now we're changing colors back to orange. Okay, and we'll be working that white in here in a bit. So now you just do orange to the end of the row, and I will pick up with you at the end of this round. So I made it the rest of the way around. We're going to now change colors to gray. And for this round, we're doing 1 double crochet into every stitch. And it's nice because now we're not changing color. So this round's super easy. So we pull the gray through, tighten that orange, I mean. Chain 3, and just do 1 double crochet in every stitch. Now as you're working around, you are welcome to work in these strands like we did here. Okay, we didn't work it in right there. Okay, but over here we did work it in. So if you'd like, you can work these in as you're going along. If you don't work them in, at the end you can just use your tapestry needle and attach the thread and stitch it in just at the very end. So however you want to do it is great. So I'm just going to keep going around, and I will meet you back here at the end of this round. Okay, so now's a good time to, if you have someone around the size that's going to be wearing this hat, you know, have them try it on. Make sure that it's a good height for them. If you need additional length, you can add a row of a single crochet or another row of double crochet if you'd like. But this should be a good size. This one that we're making is for, you know, teen and adult. So we're going to slip stitch this in. I'm going to chain 1, and then now we're just going to slip stitch all the way around. Now when you're doing this slip stitch, you want to make sure that you are doing it very loose. Okay, we don't want it to be really tight, because if you do, it'll make it harder to put the hat on. Okay, so this is adding, you know, this little tiny bit of length, but more so it's just for, you know, to add a little bit of a finished edge to your work. So we're slip stitching through, and remember, we're just keeping it really loose. So we wrap it around, and we don't pull through more yarn, we're just using that loop. Okay, so you're just going to keep doing this all the way around, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I've made it around doing my slip stitch. I'm just going to pull through one more time. And I'm going to snip that off kind of long just so that I can work it in later. There's a nice little knot there. And this hat is now done. So you can see the difference between this, which is, you know, more of the teen to adult, and this one, which is more of the child size. So what we changed was this round up here, and I added a row of white in here. So there we go. So now what you're going to do is just work in any of your ends that you need to. To do that, you will bring in your tapestry hook. And I like to just kind of work on the back side, weave it through, snip it off. So you're going to do that for this hat, and then you will be ready to move on to part 2 of my tutorial. The link to that is in the description below, and I'll also link it to this post. You can see it on the side, the information tab. And there we go.